So, in a move that has shocked Collingwood fans around Australia, the Pies won't be nominating father-son prospect Tommy McGuane in the national draft. Let's talk about it. So on Sunday night, it was announced that Collingwood won't be nominating Tom McGuane in the national draft as a father-son nomination. So this means that he is free to go to whatever club wants to pick him up and wants to give him the chance. And Collingwood don't have an opportunity to bid on him. So let's just say, for example, we opted not to nominate Nick Dacos as a father-son. He gets picked up. He gets picked up at pick 1 by the Kangaroos that year. Collingwood then don't have the opportunity to bid for him. He just is a Kangaroo. That's it. Now, Collingwood are hoping that he gets to the rookie draft. But when I heard this news yesterday, I thought, man, imagine the club that your dad played for, that you love, you've played VFL for, saying, no, we're not going to nominate you for the father son at all. We hope that you fall. We hope that you fall to the rookie draft. No one picks you up, and then we'll pick you up. Imagine having to come into the club after that, after they didn't sort of back you. But what that kind of says to me, and well, not kind of says to me, what that says to me is that Collingwood just don't rate him highly enough. So this is what Justin Lepich had to say about Tom McGuane today, Monday, at the trade talk.
And talking off list spots and draft positions as well, decided the Collingwood Footy Club has not nominated Tom McGuane as a father-son. Where does it sit in terms of the conversations with Tom, potential for a rookie spot and leaving the door ajar there?
Yeah, and that's probably where it sits. Unfortunately, we couldn't commit to him in the draft. Obviously, still potential for rookie or another club. I mean, he tested so well at the combine yesterday, so he's credit to him. He's put his head down and still worked hard and wants to, is craving for that AFL opportunity. So, yeah, that's where it sits right now.
So they wanted to tell him early. There was the combine testing over the weekend where he ran 6.2 minutes for the 2 kilometer time trial and 2.93 seconds in the 20-meter sprint. So he's testing really well, and there are clubs talking to him. So he probably gets picked up by one of the other clubs. The thing is, in 2024, when all this was sort of blowing up and we're like, oh my God, Tom McGuane is going to come to the Pies. We've seen what he can do at the Western Jets in 2025. He was averaging around 28 disposals in the Coach League for the Jets and doing really well. He played a couple of games in the VFL in 2025 and in 2024 as a bottom ager. He only turned 18 in August, so he's still really young, 178 or 77, 78 centimeters, really light frame, but he was playing off the halfback line on the wing as well, like I said, in the VFL for the Western Jets, Metro, and all this sort of stuff, and he was looking really, really good. Last season, though, and for most of the start of this year in 2025, he was touted as a top 15 draft pick, top 20 even as well. Even Cal Toomey was saying that, and all these media journals were saying that as well. But over the course of the year, his form did dip a lot, and it wasn't that sort of early season form. I thought it was, Collingwood saying, look, we don't have the picks that we super need for you, McCarthy, Saxena, and all these guys. Just wane off a little bit, get your draft value a little bit lower, and we can pick you up a little bit cheaper. So that's where I thought it was going, but I can't really tell you why the drop off happened or why Collingwood just don't want him. They're not going to come out and say why that they don't rate him as highly. They're still saying, oh, but you can come as a rookie. I don't think it's going to happen. I think another club is going to pick him up. What I did love about McGuane and why I thought he was going to do well, yes, he's smaller and a bit more skinny. I thought a good preseason in the AFL system would have been really good for him, would have worked out for him and his body. He's just really smart with the ball. He's got good endurance. He's got good agility. Can just use the ball super well. Can hit a target really well. I thought he would complement Nick. Maybe not straight in the middle. Maybe off a wing or off a half back line. And we were just all Collingwood fans were just so excited for him throughout the whole entire year. So it was just really just a bit of a slap in the face and a bit of a slap in the face personally for Tommy McGuane as well. Like, they reckon that they told him over the last week or so, but man, it's harsh, especially after playing in the VFL. And look, I know this stuff happens, and I know we don't have the picks at the moment for all of these players, and like they obviously view Zach McCarthy as really higher up, and he's probably will be a top 25, top 30 pick. Even like when they were doing, draft prospects like top 50, top 100, I really wasn't even seeing Tommy McGuane's name really high up there. So he has dropped off a little bit, but to me, why not just nominate him for father son? And if you don't want to match the bid, you don't match the bid. Just say, hey, yeah, we're backing you. You don't have to match the bid if you nominate them for a father son. You don't have to do it. So I don't know, just really weird to me. But the powers that be, Leper and Shane O'Brien, the team, they just don't think he's going to be a Collingwood player unless he gets to them in the rookie draft, which I don't think will happen. But we'll see when draft night rolls around. Now, I wanted to get an expert's opinion on this, and I could not think of more of an expert than Jonty from Craft of the Draft, Zero Hanger. So he's going to talk for the next few minutes about his thoughts, why Collingwood did what they did, and what it means for Tommy McGuane and the Pies going forward.
So the circumstances and context surrounding Collingwood choosing not to nominate Tom McGuane as a father-son prospect I found to be wholly bizarre. Before diving into the discussion, I think we must acknowledge, though, that we're talking about an 18-year-old, so it's probably worth being somewhat measured in any discussion around him because he has probably been scrutinised and analysed more than some AFL footballers, given how much intrigue there's been around him this year and in seasons gone past. And having followed him closely this year and spoken to him and people around him, as much as it would tear at the heartstrings of Pies supporters, both on an emotive level and also a practical level, given the club is screaming out for young talent, I do hope he goes on to have a 200-game career elsewhere because he is a ripping young man. But yeah, having said that, let's now dive into the discussion because there has been so much commentary which has surrounded the decision, obviously, which came to light on Sunday, and it's mostly focused on the plight of his season and whether a player of his stature and, I suppose, profile would succeed at AFL level. And while those are both worthwhile discussion points, the first point of interest for me is how much time Collingwood's invested into developing McGuane, who's had the opportunity, obviously, to train extensively with the AFL squad, play VFL for Collingwood, and everything that goes with that. So the move feels jarringly sudden. For the past few seasons, it's felt like a fait accompli that both parties would want Tom nominated as a father-son, and then bang, no, we aren't going to nominate you. So having accrued so much data and vision over such an extended period, what suddenly changed? Some fans have suggested the need to prioritise other areas, like ensuring that we have enough points that Collingwood can match a bid for Zach McCarthy, who will hopefully, from a Collingwood perspective, be the key forward of the next generation. And obviously, Craig McRae's mantra has always been players over picks. So there's been some suggestions clearly that we would prefer to have those picks available to trade out so that we can get some players in rather than having to bank some points for McGuane. But nominating a player as a father-son prospect doesn't lock Collingwood into taking him. And that's why it's so rare for a club to not at least nominate, because if he goes higher than what that club is prepared to match a bid for, in this case clearly Collingwood, then the club's able to pass and another club will secure him. So it's a no lock-in deal. And the fact Collingwood didn't nominate Tom brings me to my second point, and the part that was probably overshadowed when AFL Media's Cal Toomey broke the news on Sunday. So I quote his tweet, "The Pies will decide whether they nominate him as a rookie after the trade period, but rivals will be free to swoop on him as a national pick." So that to me is strange. I would think it would be exceptionally difficult for Collingwood to welcome him in to the AIA Centre in pre-season after effectively indicating that he didn't, in their eyes, have the ability to warrant a primary list spot. Now, I understand the notion that a lot of draft prospects talk about that whether you pick one in the national draft or pick 20 in the rookie draft, it doesn't matter. But if you're McGuane, are you going in with an undertone of bitterness or a want to prove people wrong at your own club? And what does that do to the psyche of a first-year player? If Collingwood is still considering him as a rookie option, why not at least nominate him as a father-son, even if within the four walls of the club there is a private acknowledgement that a main list spot won't be used on him, but it just creates that sense of comfort that if and when he does arrive at the club in the rookie draft, there isn't this simmering, almost tension or friction that might otherwise exist, given the club's clearly indicated that he's not, in their eyes, suitable for a primary list position. As for McGuane the footballer, the questions are around speed, stature, damage with ball in hand. Is he an AFL midfielder essentially? And if not, has he truly shown enough to be drafted in another position? Would he be drafted if his name was Tom Smith and didn't have a surname that's maintained interest and eyeballs throughout his time in the talent pathway? Having watched him so extensively across the past 2 seasons, I say yes, absolutely, he's good enough for the step up. Some clubs are saying no. There is still some interest in him though. But regardless what outsiders think, the point of interest for me doesn't lie in what Collingwood thought of him, but why there seems to have suddenly been a 180 on him so late in the year and why the club has been so transparent about it when a nomination doesn't lock you in to taking the player.
So absolutely incredible sight from Jonty. I did some work with him earlier on as well. I think we did talk about Tom McGuane earlier on as well, and McCarthy and all those sort of things. If you're not, follow Zero Hanger, follow Craft of the Draft over on YouTube. Follow them on Instagram as well. Jonty is just such a good dude, and he is just so knowledgeable, and he's always there at the under-18 carnivals, and just, if you want draft stuff, it's Jonty, and, you know, it's my boy Pommy in Oz. Pom is one of the best in the business. We love Pom over on the Swoop Luke channel. Pommy, if you're watching, we love ya. But let me know your thoughts down below about this Tommy McGuane Collingwood situation. Would love to know them all. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later. Mwah.